Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining you today from the Fitchburg Star, our star of all stars, Kimberly Wealthall. Is it Wealthall? I don't know. I never say your last name.
It
Wealthall?
is Wethel. It's
Wealthall?
Wethel.
Well, I'm Jeremy Crosby. Nice to meet you. How are you doing today?
I am doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for jumping in or jumping on the program today. Jumping in, jumping on. I'm always nervous when I talk to you because, the guys pick on me for always saying things wrong and doing things wrong. And you're the professional writer here, so words are hard for me. So it's just makes me nervous every time.
Well, if it makes you feel better, there is a reason why somebody edits my words before somebody else sees them. So I'm not real good at the whole public speaking. Yeah, no.
And I was
You'll
never.
never
It's
see me
funny
on
because
TV.
I'm not a public. I was never a public speaker, nor was I a good student. But that was a different story. It was a little bit harder for me to learn, but I learned, and here I am. I mean, I'm talking Fitchburg hosts and talking to Kimberly, the star of all stars of Fitchburg
How
Star.
can you go higher?
By the
How
way,
can you
if I
go
say
higher?
6 stars, which I just did, I get a free coffee from you. So thank you. We've got a lot to get to today. We're going to talk about the postal contract that is coming to an end, unfortunately here, and that's where
Yeah.
we'll start. Unfortunate news here.
Yeah, so for people who did not know, there was a postal contract station in the Sue's Hallmark that's in the Hatchery Hill, Cahill, Maine area. The pandemic really caused the Sue's Hallmark that had been hosting it to be financially hurt. So they closed that at the end of last year. And since then, the city's really been fighting to keep that postal contract station around. It's a rare spot for people who are in northern Fitchburg that need to send out mail. So um, unfortunately, that will end as of August 30th. They were not able to keep the contract station around. And then I guess for fun trivia time, Jeremy, do you know why we don't have a post office here in Fitchburg?
Well, yes, I do, Kimberly, but I don't want to steal your thunder, and maybe I don't know completely, but I've heard different uh, scenarios and reasons why there isn't. But go ahead and share.
Oh, sure. So for people who are wondering, why can't the city just put in a post office instead of trying to get a postal contract station? The city actually doesn't have any jurisdiction over post office locations, zip codes. That is all a federal post office decision. So the city of Fitchburg could lobby all it wants for a post office, but at the end of the day, they don't have the control. And if you think about how old Fitchburg is, Fitchburg was incorporated as a city in 1983. Cities surrounding like Verona and Oregon, Stoughton, Middleton, all of those places have had their zip codes for a very long time because they've been cities for much longer. So maybe someday Fitchburg will get its own zip code, but for now, I wouldn't hold your breath. I think the city is still very interested in finding another vendor for that postal service contract, though. But as of right now, the current location is is moot. There is a postal contract station at Hy-Vee. It is on the west side, and it does have some limited services. So
We're not out of it altogether, but yeah, where we've been going, it's just not happening anymore. And if anything else comes up to date on that, certainly we'll pass that on to you. But yeah, just unfortunate there for sure. Something that's been working well and will continue moving forward here, and we're doing it right now. Virtual meetings. City has set forth some virtual meeting guidelines.
correct. So basically, the city and other municipalities, town boards, school boards, were given the ability to conduct virtual meetings with the county's emergency order for COVID. That came to an end on June 30th. So, what the city of Fitchburg then instead did is it put in an ordinance stating that people who are members of the common council, different commissions and boards, they're able to participate virtually. And so the big deal with that is that under normal open meetings state law, you would not be able to be counted towards quorum if you are not physically in the room. So That's why that matters. With virtual meetings, that means the public, I would assume, Fact TV can confirm this for me. But I would assume that people who are from the public that would like to do public comment can still also participate virtually as well and can sign up to register and speak virtually. So um, the law, it's completely legal for them to do this. However, there is no corresponding state statute that allows them to do it. So if cities and villages and towns and school boards really wanted to make this a long-term thing, there would need to be some changes in the state legislature on open meetings laws to really require this. City of Fitchburg is at less of a risk because it also has an in-person option, but places like the City of Madison, Dane County Board of Supervisors, though they have been meeting completely virtually. And so they're at a little bit more risk of open meetings laws. If someone says, hey, I don't think this meets an open meetings law, they're a little bit more at risk. So Fitchburg is more in the clear with that because there is an in-person option, but for this to be really permanent, you'd have to see a change at the state legislature. But through the rest of the year, you'll be able to participate virtually. So
Yeah, and I think we're lucky that there's been such an investment in Fact TV, and not tooting my own horn here, but we had established streaming since 2010. We've been streaming here, so adding the component of that virtual space to bring people in and still have that talking space has worked out really good. But you're right, you can still participate via Zoom if you want to comment at any of the meetings. If you just want to watch the meetings, that's still available at Fact TV and through all the places that Kimberly watches here, Fact TV. We know she's watching. She's number one fan out there. Turning to the police chief, I do have just a little bit of an update there on the police chief. What's the status on that front?
So that decision has gotten delayed again. Initially, the original timeline of the police hiring, they were planning to have a decision made in mid-August. That got pushed back to September, and now it'll be pushed back potentially into October. That depends on whether there's a special meeting or the PFC keeps its regular schedule. So, but basically, it was announced at the council meeting on Tuesday that they likely will not have a decision. They will not make a hiring choice and vote on it simply because those background checks on the two candidates who remain will not be done. So we can maybe expect to see that in October, potentially earlier if they call a special session, but that's kind of where it sits now, as it's been delayed twice. And so an original timeline for the police hiring listed that a police chief would start about a month after they were hired. So we're kind of looking at November now for the start of a new police chief.
That is correct. Yep, and we'll certainly pass on any of that information as well. And we need to be, we'll just have to be together when that announcement comes out. So, but you'll be able to stay up on that on the next police and fire commission meetings, and yeah. We'll certainly get the information out there when it comes available. All right, Kimberly, we're out of time, but quickly, where can people find more information and make sure they get signed up for that newsletter?
Absolutely. You can go to connectfitchburg.com. We update the website with more news than we share here, stuff about lawsuits and community news. We'll be putting up some photos. We put up some photos last night from the community night out. So there's always a plethora of things for you to find. And on the website, there is a way to sign up for our newsletter, which comes out each Thursday. So
perfect. Well, we appreciate the time. Nice catching up with you. Plethora. I use that on Talking Fitchburg just every once in a while. That was said from a former employee, and I've since stole it, so I love it. We appreciate the time, Kimberly. We'll talk in 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
All right. Kimberly with the Star said check out the website and get signed up for the newsletter. Paper comes out monthly. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.